Okay, this is still homework 2. We are talking about question 11 to question 15. Now, question 11 use this figure comparative advantage. Eastland and Westland. Both these two places produce only two goods, boxes of peaches and boxes of oranges. And this figure shows each nation's production possibility frontier for the two goods. So, Eastland has 100 oranges boxes, right? 100 peaches, 100 boxes of peaches. Westland, 50 boxes of oranges and 200 boxes of peaches. This is basically a straight line, and we assume the opportunity cost is basically constant in when the production possibility frontier is a straight line. Okay. Question 11. Using figure comparative advantage. Now we are asked about Eastland. This one, okay, has an absolute advantage in producing what? Now, which one has absolute advantage? Absolute advantage means that this country can produce more of one good if it puts all of its resources into the production of that good compared to another country, right? So if we look at oranges, right, produce 100 boxes of oranges for Eastland, and the Westland, if it devotes all of its resources into the production of oranges, right, it produce no peaches, okay, produce no peaches, but it can only produce 50 boxes of oranges. Here, okay, 50 from 0 peaches, 0 boxes of peaches, and 50 boxes of oranges. And for Eastland, 0 boxes of peaches, 100 boxes of oranges. So obviously, Eastland can produce more oranges if Eastland puts all of its resources into the production of oranges. Okay, and Westland, the absolute, right? The absolute advantage, this one, absolute advantage is in what? Here, in peaches, right? That's obvious. Okay, look at question 12. Now, still using the figure above, using this figure, Westland has a comparative advantage. Now this one is different. Comparative advantage, we need to consider what? The opportunity cost. Okay? To consider the opportunity cost, what we do? We have to calculate it. So let's go back to here, and I will pull out my table. So we have what? Oranges, just oranges, and peaches. And then we have Eastland and Westland. Now, I will start with the production possibility. You can see in this table, I need to get the numbers in, right? And what's the number? For Eastland, it's 100 and 100. So 100 and 100. Now I want to have what? I want to have the regular color for my fonts. And then Westland, I have what? 50 boxes of oranges and 200 boxes of peaches. So 50 and 200. 50 and 200. Still regular color. Now I'm going to calculate the opportunity costs, right? Based on the information that is given. For oranges, I need to give up peaches to produce oranges. Okay, so it's 100 divided by, let me put all the numbers into black, and then 100 divided by 100. This is peach divided by actually orange. Alright, it's basically saying for each orange how many peaches, or for each box of oranges how many box of peaches that I have to give up. It's a ratio of 1. Now how about the peaches? Same thing for Eastland. It's actually 100 oranges, box of oranges divided by 100 box of peaches. I have 1, and the unit here is what? For peaches, the opportunity cost come from the oranges I have to give up. Okay, and for the oranges, it's the peaches that I have to give up. Now how about Westland? For oranges, now it's the 200 divided by the 50. Okay, that is actually 4. Means what? For each box of oranges in Westland, I have to give up what? 4 boxes. Not 1 box, 4 boxes of oranges. And how about peaches? Well, to produce peaches, I give up like 50 boxes of oranges and divided by 200, and that is actually 0.25. So for each box of peaches, right, I produce in Westland, each box I give up a quarter of a box of oranges. Only a quarter. Okay, so each box of peaches only costs me a quarter box of oranges. That is the opportunity cost. Now, which one has the lower opportunity cost? Remember, we compare it vertically. I want a different color. Compare it vertically according to the what? To the products. Okay, for products we compare the opportunity costs. Which one has lower? And in Eastland, for oranges, okay, compare Eastland and Westland. Eastland has lower opportunity cost. Let's make that one blue. And for peaches, we compare Eastland and Westland. Well, Westland has lower opportunity cost. So now we know the one, okay, by definition, the one with lower opportunity cost has comparative advantage. As compared to Eastland, Westland has a comparative advantage in producing peaches. That's the conclusion. Now, this question should be easy to answer. Question 12, right? Westland has a comparative advantage in what? Okay, you can a economy can has absolute advantage in both products. For example, I can set, for Eastland it produce something like 100 oranges and 300, let's say 300 boxes of peaches. I can set it that way. So Eastland has Eastland has absolute advantage in both. Okay, in both the oranges production and the peach production. right? Higher, here at this point it's 300. Let me put it here. Change your color. Okay, I just want to emphasize it's from this origin. Okay, to here it's 300. Now if the green line is the production possibility frontier for Eastland, okay, it has absolute advantage over Westland in both the oranges and the peaches. But when you consider comparative advantage, okay, when you consider comparative advantage, there is only one good a country can has comparative advantage, because we did what? We actually first, when we have done this calculation, we first compared it for the country. The country compared itself to itself, and then we compare across country. Okay, then we compare across country for the opportunity cost. So there's can be only one country has a comparative advantage over another country, because we first digested one country's own production possibility frontier within it. Okay, that's question 12. Now look at question 13. We have a table, comparative advantage 1, Sweden and Finland produce only two goods, hearing and cell phones. And this table shows the maximum amount that each nation can produce of the two goods. Okay, in Sweden, notice they are very sneaky. Now, on the columns, you have the countries, and on the rows, you have the products. So now we need to be a little bit more careful. So in this one, using this table, right, the opportunity cost of producing one box of cell phone for Finland is how many boxes of hearings? This is not hard because we are only asked to consider for one country. All right, so let's see. Okay, let me put this calculation here. This is for Finland. We are considering the opportunity cost of cell phones, and it's measured, this cost is measured in the other good, that is hearings. So what we do is 50,000 boxes of hearings divided by 10,000 boxes of cell phones, and that give you the answer for the opportunity cost of one box of cell phone. Okay, this one box of cell phone is measured in terms of boxes of hearings. That's how we do the calculation of opportunity cost. Okay, that's question 13. Let's look at question 14. If the opportunity cost of manufacturing machinery is lower in the United States than in Britain, okay, so opportunity cost is already lower. Now we know what the US, let me write something down. The US has what? Comparative advantage in machinery. Okay, and then the next sentence, the opportunity cost of manufacturing sweaters is higher in the United States than in Britain. Now we can conclude what Britain has comparative advantage in what? Sweaters. All right, that's the conclusion we should get. And what we have learned from our course is this conclusion, okay? A country should specialize according to its own comparative advantage, meaning that it will specialize in producing the goods that it has comparative advantage and then trade with other nations. That's what we have learned. And the result, it will be the country can consume at a higher level than domestic production possibility frontier. That's the result. Okay, you can consume outside your production possibility frontier, your own production possibility frontier. Basically, when a country specializes according to comparative advantage, producing the product that it has lower opportunity cost, it can consume at a point that is not attainable. Okay, not attainable by its own domestic production possibility frontier. That's our conclusion. So, going back to this question, okay, the United States should do what? Specialize in what? Producing what? Okay, it should specialize in the one that it has comparative advantage in and then export that product to Britain. And then Britain will export this product to the US. And now you need to find out which choice actually describe this kind of trade pattern. Okay, how the two countries should trade. Now let's look at question 15. Justin and Marie are going to sell brownies and cookies for their 4th annual fundraiser bake sale. In one day, Justin can make 200 brownies or 80 cookies, and Marie can make 100 brownies or 50 cookies with specialization. Okay, now comparative advantage, who has the lower opportunity cost, right? How many brownies and how many cookies will be made in one day? For this question, I still like to use my table. So I will eliminate all these numbers. Okay, we do a little bit of calculation to figure things out. Now we have two persons, Justin and Marie. So we have Justin and Marie. And then we have what? Brownies. Brownies and cookies. Okay, so Justin, 120 brownies, 80 cookies. Let's go. 120, 80 cookies. And then Marie, 100 brownies and 50 cookies. 150. Alright, now let's consider what? The opportunity cost. Still, two person, two products, or two economy, two products. Same story. For brownies, what we put in the numerator will be the cookies. We measure the opportunity cost of brownies using cookies. This is basically 2/3. Okay, and it's actually cookies. And then for cookies, we measure its opportunity cost using brownies. 120 divided by 80. This is 1.5. So for one cookie, this is brownies. For one cookie, right, Justin has to give up 1.5 brownies. Now, how about Marie? The opportunity cost of brownies for Marie in terms of cookies is 50 cookies given up to produce 100 brownies. We have 0.5. That is, again, cookies, right? So for every brownie, Marie Marie give up half of a cookie. Now, for cookies, Marie give up 100 brownies and divided by 50 give up 100 brownies divided by 50 cookies. Yes, that is 2. Okay, it says what Marie give up 2 brownies for every cookie Marie produce. Now, which one is the lower opportunity cost? Let me give you this number. This one is 0.6666, or yeah, that's about that number. So this one is the lower number, still highlighted with blue. And Justin has lower opportunity cost, less brownies to give up for each cookie produced, right? So what do we know? Justin should produce the cookies, and then Marie should produce the brownies, right? That's how we solve this one, and it's a combination of the numbers. Right? How many brownies eventually produced when the 2 person specializes, or each of them specialize in their own comparative advantage, and how many cookies are going to be produced, right? According to our calculation. Here brownies, here cookies. Okay, that is question 11 to 15 for this second homework. Let me tell you very important thing. If I spend a lot of time explaining how to do certain calculation in this preview video, you should pay attention. Okay, those are the calculations you need to learn how to do, and this is the kind of questions you need to learn how to solve for the exam. Okay, see you next time.